Yeah, yeah. Making her way to the mic. They start dimming the lights. You start feeling alright. From Birmingham, home of the Teddy Longs, and the room is stutters. More once you discover. For all of the lovers, Whitney Houston and Roman Reigns. For all of the lovers, and Mickey James and Marvin Gaye. For all of the lovers, and Sasha Banks, Janelle Monáe, Silk, Sonic, and Paige. Allow me to say, look, I just found a place, sweet escape for every one of us. I was kinda late, so I just made it off the struggle bus. Walking by the fate, cause I know it's right in front of us. Yo, I ain't with the hate, gotta focus on what's great. Ladies and gentlemen, Steph Hardy is on the air. Had to drop a couple bars just to make you all aware. So, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. You know I go by Joe or the rest of the flow, yeah.
Hey, y'all, welcome to a new episode of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girl, Stephanie Hardy, host and creator of this fabulous platform, as well as host and writer for Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet, and color commentator. But of course, this is an extra special episode because with me today, I have some special guests who are a part of a prestigious, amazing award show. These are the members of the Alabama Music Awards. This is Ruby, Nikki J, and Zeus, who all work together collectively to help the Alabama Music Awards happen. So, how are you guys doing? And thank you guys so much for coming on my show today.
We're doing good.
Doing well. How are you?
Doing good.
I'm doing fantastic. It is such an honor to have you guys on. And I was just telling Ruby and also Zeus, you guys are really the first guests I've ever had that isn't centered on wrestling at all. So this is amazing. Y'all are breaking ground here on the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. So kudos.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So the first question I'm going to ask each of you, and you guys can go one at a time, and either one of y'all can go first. It's fine. So what exactly brought all of you together to collectively decide that you were going to start the Alabama Music Awards? Like, what was the inspiration behind it?
We're going to let Sue start.
Yeah, Zeus to answer that question for you.
Okay.
Y'all waiting on me to answer, huh?
Yes, they said it's you. That's a you question, sir.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a you. Oh, you. Okay. The award show started because I own Zeus Entertainment. That's an entertainment record label. We have won several, different awards throughout this region, far as the southeastern region. So I was saying one to myself, like we need this in Alabama. An event like this in Alabama. So I started, doing my homework, talking to one of my friends. Cannot leave him out, Michael Myers in Atlanta. He passed away. I think after the second year we started doing it here in Alabama from a heart attack. But so I started writing it up and finally got it written up, played it out, and we finally physically done it in 2015. And so, we've been going through trials and errors since 2015, and we constantly been adding on as we go. But that's how it all came together, looking at the state of Alabama. Instead of saying, let's do Birmingham, I said, no, we need to do something different. And that falls under the state of Alabama, trying to bring everybody together, because a lot of the entertainment always go to Atlanta. They always go to like Mississippi or Nashville. You do have those that probably go to California or New York, but everybody here always go to Atlanta or the nearest places. And I was like, the more and more I looked into it, the more and more we have done this, it states back probably before all of us was born, is that Alabama was what they call their hub. But in order for us to match what's going on in Atlanta, we must come together as a state versus a city. to make it work. And that's how it all actually came along.
Okay, well, much respect to your friend, Mr. Myers, who has, passed on, who helped you, to create this idea. So what it sounds like is you started, in the music business and then decided that you wanted to create something for the state and not just for the city of Birmingham, where I am from and stuff. So I believe that's a very beautiful vision to have. And when you think of music history, when you do look back, there's a lot of music history in Alabama, particularly in Muscle Shoals, is where they put a lot of the emphasis on in music history, especially at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I have been happy to go to. They put a lot of emphasis on Muscle Shoals and how so many people, of the 50s and 60s and 70s, even, all the way back then, and even up until like the 80s, would come here to record some of the best music. But a lot of people really don't give it that much credit. So I believe, your platform is really paying tribute to that while also, offering artists in Alabama of the future another platform as well. So that's really amazing. So Nikki and Ruby, where do you guys come in with all of this, and how, do you feed into the vision of the show?
You want to?
Okay,
Either
I'll
one
go
you can
first.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, well, my first year was last year for the Alabama Music Awards. I met Mr. Zeus at my job, and all of a sudden, out of the bloom, we just started talking and talking, and he's like, "Hey, you want to be a host at the Alabama Music Awards?" And I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Oh, well," and he started explaining to me, and I'm like, "Sure." So I was able to be on it last year, and I loved it. And then this year, this year I got invited again. So I'm like, yeah, but it's an honor to be there. I mean, it's gonna be my second year, so. And I'm
Okay,
also
cool.
representing the Latinos at the Music Awards, which he's doing he did it last year, so this year we're doing it again. So that's a good part.
Yeah.
All right, that's beautiful. What about you, Nikki J? How did you get hooked up with Mr. Zeus and the Alabama Music Awards?
Hello, everybody. First off, um, I have been with the Alabama Music Awards now for 7 years. I started out, as I call it, behind the scenes, behind the camera, and I was just the voice. Um, I've been knowing Zeus for almost my whole life. And he knew that I did voiceovers. I was a voiceover artist. So we were talking one day, and he asked if I would be interested in being the voice behind the Alabama Music Awards. That was an honor. So, of course, I said yes. And over the years, it's progressed, and I guess I've progressed and moved in front of the camera instead of behind the camera. So, I think I can't remember how many years ago I started with the hosting. Not sure, but maybe maybe 4 years.
You always been a host. You just been behind the camera, behind the scenes.
Okay, well.
I always looked at it as a host. Yeah.
You're right. Only difference now, I'm just in front of the camera. And I love it. I do have musical background, entertainment background, and I do other things. So the Alabama Music Awards, I not only participate in hosting, but it's very, that's what I'm looking for. It's very beneficial to me as well. So I use it to make connections, just like the next artist uses it to make connections. So that's how I became connected.
Okay, so it seems like all of you collectively, have your benefits from it, and then you've brought, a lot of your know-how, artistically. But Ruby, what I do want to ask you though, like, are you artistically gifted in any way through voiceover music or anything like that?
Well, since since little, I've always loved to sing,
Mhm.
but I get shy in front of the people. So it's like if we have parties at home, everybody's like, sing, sing, sing. So I get up and sing. But in front of other people, it's just like I'm really, really shy. So I'm not, I love to sing, but I'm not in the music path. So it's okay.
Okay, but that's still valid, I mean, because if
Yeah.
you have a song in your heart, you can sing it, but then, you have that know how to add to whatever it is that might be needed for the show. So that's definitely valid. So all of you are collectively gifted, and I think that's amazing for the show's purpose. So, with all of your gifts and such, in terms of starting the show, and you mentioned that a lot of people go back and forth to different cities like like Atlanta and Los Angeles and Nashville and also to Mississippi and stuff. What is it specifically about what is it specifically about the state of Alabama that you want people to know in terms of the talent that we have that's a little bit different than everybody else's?
Whoa, that's a good. Nah, that's a question. That's a hard question. That's a real hard question. Um, Mainly dealing with this award show. When it comes to the talent, the award show is really created for to be a networking event.
Hmm.
That's one of the key factors of this award show. I understand that we do give away awards, you know, but the main thing is actually bringing people in to see the talent that we do have here, as far as the entertainers as a whole. That's one of the differences because you have a lot of producers, just using them for example, that actually goes to Atlanta and you listening to that same producer music that actually came from Alabama.
Right.
Same thing that's in Tennessee, in all different areas. Don't get me wrong, but the artist Alabama as a whole has a lot of good talent, and I ain't just talking about the countryside. I'm not talking about the hip hop side or the jazz or the gospel. I'm just talking about in all areas because we have not just music. We got the models, the the DJs. We have a lot that's going on that's coming out of this state that I think that is just doing. I mean, that's doing a lot, and that's where the award show come in hand is to introduce those who don't know each other, just as well as those who outside of the state that can still be a part of this show. Hope I answered the question correctly. I was trying to get it out.
No, that's fine. You did. You answered it perfectly. Is there
Yeah.
anything that Nikki and Ruby you guys want to add to that?
Um, I can add something. I think we have, um, in terms of what we have to offer and things that are different. Um, you can come there, of course, and it's like a one-stop shop, like Zeus said. You have producers, you have managers, you have models, you have poets, you have writers, you have singers, you have rappers, hip hop artists, country artists, everything. You have makeup artists, you have designers, everything that you need in the entertainment world is going to be right there in that building, all at one time in one day. But aside from that, not only does the Alabama Music Awards offer you that entertainment and that networking um, event right in one, he also does things with the community. Um, and you don't see music awards tied into things like that. He makes it into one weekend of what I call Alabama Music Awards weekend. And with that being said, on Saturday, for example, and he does this every year. He's done this every year for the community, and it's free for all kids and starts from kindergarten through the 12th grade. He does a back to school rally where he gives book bags, school supplies, all of this stuff for the kids. And you get it once you get there. And they have everything out there for the kids, and the youth are involved. He gets the youth involved, and the youth are involved in everything that's going on the Alabama Music Awards weekend. So he has everybody involved, not only the artist. He has kids, he has the community. And then we're doing a gospel explosion later that afternoon, and then a fashion show. And there's designers coming from all states. We basically have very few, I think, from here. There, as far as Chicago, that are coming to display their fashions here. So, in that aspect, we're different. And Alabama Music Awards has that to bring. They have the community service, they have the kids, we have the artists, everything you need. And, and it's all in fun. So, that's my spiel on it.
That's beautiful though, because it's like not only are you, a award show, you're also contributing back to the community of which you're highlighting, and that's a beautiful thing. You have anything to add, Ruby?
No.
No, okay. I just saw
No.
you turn your mic off, and it sounded like maybe you had something to say.
No. I have my dogs over here, so like sometimes they bark, so I just wanted to turn it off.
Oh no, it's okay. I've dealt with puppies before.
Well,
All manners of animals, so you're good.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be embarrassed for them to be barking, but they already put them up in the room.
And since you call Ruby's name, that's another thing that he's incorporated in the Alabama Music Awards, the Latino community.
Mm-hmm.
So he's bringing the diversity, and he's bringing everybody together. And you don't see a lot of that sometimes, and that's more of what we need. So that's what he's doing, and he's gelling everything together as one and bringing everybody together. So
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Like we should be more united when it comes to the diversity of life. We're all here, so everyone deserves a voice, and I definitely agree with that. So, one question that I do have is: has there been any adversity that any of you have faced with starting this platform, and how have you overcome it?
Yes. Yes, I had a lot of it. But my thing is, the old saying is, I'm older than what I look. So it goes in one ear and come out the other ear, but always sit in the back of the mind. So guess what you do? You take it and turn it into something positive and keep on pushing. Yeah. And that came to me not one time, but multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I tell people, I've been in the music game for over 30 years. I didn't just start 10 years ago or 20 years ago or yesterday. I've been doing it a long time. I hadn't traveled. I've been on the main circuit. I've been on the chitlin circuit. I've been on all the different circuits, when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to music. I'm still learning because certain genres of music I don't know. But at the same time, I'm still sitting back, looking, learning, and it just been coming together, So that's just like when you actually come to the award show, you gonna see everything from hip hop to gospel to jazz. You're gonna see country, you're gonna see rock, you're gonna see majorette dance battle, or whatever how you want to state it. I might be stating it wrong, but we even got line dancing. I mean, it ain't nothing that we don't have. We have bluegrass. Let me say that correctly. Bluegrass music. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that we look at it one way. We bringing it all. Then you
also have the Spanish music live.
Right? Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And we definitely got the Spanish live. And then we got the models. You know what I'm saying, that we include. We got the different types of DJs. And guess what? This year we are doing the 50th anniversary of hip hop, celebrating it this year because it's been 50 years. So in terms of it all, that's what we do. So we're not missing nothing. We trying to add on to it to make it even more. So yeah, the diverse. Yeah, when it comes to that, I listen. I don't pay no attention. But yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. Because, you know, everybody's going to go through adversity when you're doing something new and when you're trying something that just hasn't been done before, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, you know, you have to push on and know that what you're doing is for a higher cause.
Mhm.
And, you know, you're doing it for a good reason. So you do have to, like, what my mom would say, like, take it like as water off of a duck's back and then just move on and
Move on.
use it to propel you forward. So, yes, I totally get that. And even though, you know, I get it even myself, like even in wrestling sometimes like you'll have people who don't understand you or feel like you don't have a place. But you know, of course you always have a place because you're here. People are listening to you. People, you know, support what you've got going on. So you always have a place for that. And when it comes to the Alabama Music Awards, it's like there's a space for everybody. Like when I went last year, because the show was nominated and I was really grateful to be there. It was so amazing looking out and seeing everybody there, like people who I never thought I would ever be in the same room with,
Yeah.
musically, podcast wise, like all of that. Like I just never thought I would see any of that. Like you had children who were artists, you know, with their little costumes and cowboy hats on. You had rappers with big jewelry that you only see in music videos. Like that was insane. But to be there, you know, amongst all of those people, you know, meant the world to me. Like it was really cool. Like I really liked being a part of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I had an experience where a lot of people would say, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You're just wasting your time. Um, you're not even getting paid or whatever, just making negative um, comments. But I always say, if you don't work for something that you like, you're never going to get to where you want to get. So I don't know, maybe like right now I'm trying to get used to it because like I said, I still get scared, I still get nervous, but this is what I like. This is what I love. I love to entertain people. I love to talk to people. So I'm a really friendly person. So if this gets me to a better place, I mean, let's go. But like you guys say, I just put one ear and then go to the other one and I just let it go because people are always going to say negative stuff. So, but I love
Absolutely.
it. I
Yeah.
love it because it's an experience that, oh my gosh, you have no idea. When you're there, everything is like, wow.
Yeah.
You're amazed how everything's turned out. Like a lot of people work so hard to get everything ready for us to just get on that stage and, do what we have to do. And it's just, wow, I love the experience and I will keep doing it as long as he let me be there.
Ruby actually came in last year and she saw the side that don't nobody see. Look at that. You see how
Oh
your
wow.
eyes buck? hey, hey, you see how you buck your eyes? That's exactly what Ruby did. She said,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah.
It was real.
Don't
It was
nobody
real,
see that
honey.
side. It get real. It get, you think that you know how they be on that ride, they be doing it get like behind that curve. But at the end of the day, it all works itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys, you know, you did mention, you know, how you see stuff behind the scenes. So in the amount of years you've been doing the show, has there been anything completely crazy or wild that has happened, you know, in the entire history of the
All the
Alabama Music
time.
Awards, and how did you handle it?
All the time.
Look, she's right.
Let me tell you.
I'm sorry, I can't do that but laugh.
This man has a list of everybody that needs to be like on time. He's like, where's this person? Where is that person? And I'm like, come down. We got it. We got just sit down. Oh no, but and I'm like, Zeus, come down. Come down. Come down. Oh, you got 5 minutes? 5 minutes, get ready, get ready. And we're like, oh my gosh. But it's oh my gosh.
But you gotta
We have
always
to take care of this man right here during that time because oh my goodness.
Buck your eyes again. Do the bucking of the eyes again, and that's how my name is called, Nikki.
Yes.
Oh,
But I've been working with him so long. It's like, and what's crazy now, he really doesn't have to say anything. He'll look a certain way or point to something, and I already know what he's talking about. Nikki. And I guess it's the movement, it's
No
the
words
gestures,
come
it's the
out, but
look.
she knows what he's saying.
And I already know, like, okay, I'm on it. So, and I guess it just comes from working with him for so long, and hand in hand, side by side, knowing his thoughts, knowing what he wants, knowing how he wants it. And when we're back there, and like now, even last year, and each year gets better. It gets a little less hectic, maybe. It is a little less hectic. It is. I know it could be hectic. I'm looking at his face.
You know what? Last year was the, how I like to put it, was the worst time that we ever had doing the show, because, and I say this, and I'm gonna say this, the run of the show, we couldn't even do the run of the show. We sat there and took that paper and redesigned the whole show behind stage last year by itself.
wow.
From the beginning to the end.
Flipped it.
And I really didn't even cut up as bad as I normally would cut up.
He did not. And I was so, I'm gonna give you that.
We had to make them wheels spin, make everything happen, because you ended up last year with some artists that I'm gonna put it out there, forget it, that didn't show, or they ended up with COVID. So now we had a situation where time got pushed back on us. When 6 o'clock rolled, it's time to be on TV. So we still in the middle, not at the end of the pre-show. We still in the middle of the pre-show. That means the pre-show ended up on television. So guess what we got to do now? Improvise. Because somebody didn't show up.
Mm-hmm. There was several.
Well, guess what? It kept on rolling, and y'all never did know it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you shaking your head like,
yeah, because I mean, you have to do that. You do have to like keep it rolling. Regardless. So I get it. That's just how entertainment works. That's show business. You do have to keep it going regardless. So kudos to you for keeping a cool head and keeping it together. And growing from past experiences.
Yeah.
And knowing when to hold it together, because sometimes stuff can get crazy. But as long as you, keep a cool head and you have a good support system helping you, which is clear that you do, you are able to keep it going, and no one knew a thing. And that's really the most important part, because people in the audience are there, and if the audience can't tell what's going on, then that's all that matters. That's all that matters. If they don't know, if they don't know anything's going wrong, that's all that matters. So, hey.
It was a lot of, no, this person, not Nikki, just go. Come on. Where's Ruby? Nikki, no, Ruby's going out there too. Go. And you're backstage, you're like this, but as soon as you go through the curtains, you get that one last breath, like, and you're on. You're on. So.
But one thing that I haven't mentioned in none of the interviews, and by we talking about this, that's just like Keisha, my cousin Keisha, that's been helping me out for the last couple of years, off and on over since I started. She been a really big support where we might fall short, and thank God for having her around, and where she can actually come in and be like, you know what, I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna figure it out and it get done. Big Melvin, I gotta mention him. Kilo Coleon, one of the artists that been around. He always been a big help. Jazz. Let me say this correctly. Dr. Reverend David Anthony Spencer. Been a big help. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of it, it's been several people outside of my auntie Carol. People that really behind the scenes that make a lot of different things take place. That's actually been there. Vic. Gotta remember Big Vic, he been helping us out with sound. Now, Vic, I can walk away, that sound gonna be running. I ain't gotta, you ain't gotta fight with him, and but other than that, if I miss anybody, I'm sorry if I do, but it's been different people that's actually been there to making this show take place. And that's why I always say as a networking, because all of these people are working, but they all are there. And they all end up getting extra this, extra that, doing this or doing that. And everybody that help us with this award show, guess what? They're not even from Alabama. You see what I'm saying? They're not from here. They all coming from Georgia, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, different places, Florida, places like that actually come in and help for this show. And the one thing, I want to say this before I forget, the A&Rs, the record labels, all them people be in that building. They was there with us last year. So, it's a lot that go on, and yeah, it's a challenge.
Absolutely. So when it comes to the nominations, what or the categories for the nominations, like what were the first categories that you guys came up with, and did you guys gradually add more over time?
Yes. We started out, I can't remember how many we started out with. We actually started out with a lot, but not as many as we have now. But we did add on as time. That's how we ended up with 50. Like the podcast, internet radio. I'm saying that wrong. It was the podcast, internet radio, photographer, and we added the dance teams on. That was the last thing that we added on. We had dancers on there, then we took them off, then we brought it back. And that kicked us to 50. So, categories we definitely added on. But I keep getting a lot of people complaining about the actual ballot. Some people don't understand it, and I can see that it can sometimes be confusing when you don't really just read into it. So I try to explain it into the categories. There's certain categories are meant for everybody. Certain categories are meant for that category. And that's how we broke it down. And then, like, since we talking about the categories, if you don't mind me, people ask how to get nominated. And we do have a board that nominates, but at the same token, we created a form, I think, back in 2017, so that people that we miss, they all got to do is fill the form out. And now it's on the website, so all they got to do is fill it out one time. You don't have to fill it out two. You don't have to fill it out 3 times. Fill it out once. And once we print everything down, they go through all the forms just as well as they go through the list that was turned in through the boards. And they sit down and go through all of that stuff, and they looking you up. Some people do, some people don't. But the one thing I learned, don't nobody read directions and follow them. Don't nobody read them and follow those directions. That's why a lot of people don't make it, because they don't do what they supposed to do on the paperwork. So it's not that we can't, but that we can't. And they asking me to add one other category. They want the film category on there now. They want actors and directors, the movies. Yeah. That's the only thing we don't have. Look like we'll be changing from the music awards to something else. But no, but they actually been asking for that too.
On them entertainment award.
Yep. So,
yeah, or just media, like as a whole, or something.
The media,
I don't know, like media as a whole, because it's just like when I think about movies, because I feel like that's a pretty good idea, because if you think about it, like just this year alone, you had the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that was made by one of the directors was from Birmingham. So you just kind of, and it wound up winning all those awards and winning like so many, like so much, credentials and stuff like that. So you never really know exactly, what type of artistic stuff that's outside of music that might be going on. So maybe that might be a good idea. But of course, you're the boss man, so you have to add it when you want to. But at the same time, I mean, it's a good idea.
But one thing about it is that I don't know. I know about doing scorecards and doing soundtracks, but I don't know nothing about movies within themselves. That's just like this award show. You know who taught us how to do what we do behind that screen? That comes from experience from doing shows. That comes from watching movies and knowing that we got so many seconds to do something that we got to get it, because we don't. It's called dead time. So guess what? We were self-taught. But guess what? It was a good thing, though. We learned, and we still learning. So that's one thing about it. Because you imagine setting up a full band in less than 5 minutes behind a curtain. A full band, drummers, everything in less than 5. That's a lot. But, yeah, it's something to think about, something to talk about. Never know.
Yes, you never know at all. So, in terms of this year, what is something that you can say that the Music Awards is going to offer this year that's been different from other years? You did mention that we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop, but what else can we look forward to, when it comes to this award show?
The only thing that I can really talk about is the 50th anniversary of hip hop. We always try to be creative and bring things in, and don't say nothing about it. We just do it.
Quite.
So this year alone, we will be celebrating the 50th year of hip hop. We are adding the models into our intro of this year. So those will be some of the things that we'll be doing different. We have line dance. We will have a line dance team performing this year. So that'll be something different, so it's always something different what we do. So that's the thing about it. But some things I can't talk about, some things I can. I'm missing something. It was somehow but yeah. That's what we did. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, y'all got pretty smile. Y'all keep smiling.
Oh man, thank you.
Y'all got pretty smile. I'm talking about they just okay. Look at that. You got an outlaw show. You and Ruby got those smiles going. Okay. Anyway.
I did. I've been smiling.
I know it. Y'all showing all teeth. Don't stop. Don't try to hide now. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can say that I am looking forward to attending and being there, because it was, like I said last year, it was amazing, and it was a great experience to network with a lot of different people. Even though I will say this, so I did feel a little bit like the different person, because my podcast was, is about something completely different than a lot of people's. But either way, I still had a ton of fun, talking to a lot of the people in the media room about what I do and everything. And I had lots of great conversations and made lots of good connections. So I can't wait to be a part of it again, and I really can't wait to be there. So before I let you guys go, what would you say you guys want for the future of the award show?
To be bigger and better. I want to be bigger and better to help. The one thing about it is to be bigger and better, to keep helping the artists make those steps forward and where they're trying to go. That's the main key factor of all of this that I would like to see keep going with this as a whole.
And keep bringing more artists.
I'd like to see it bigger and better, and on a larger scale. Whereas when I say larger scale, the Alabama Music Awards is known nationwide or worldwide. People want to gather like they want to gather and see the BET Awards or the Grammys or the Oscars. They know when the Alabama Music Awards is coming on, and they want to run to their televisions. And I would love to see it on mainstream TV, which it will be one of these days. So people can run to their televisions. Hey, and then the next day, hey, did you see the Alabama Music Awards last night? Did you see the Alabama? I want it to be on a larger scale like that. That's what I would like to see. And we're working
Did you
towards
see
it.
Miss Nikki? Did you see Miss Ruby?
Right, right. Did you see that dress they had on? Man, yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like
A
that.
whole week. What they call a build up week. It started one day and it started building up to it.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
it's guess what? It's on paper. It's already on paper like that to be like that, so that it brings much awareness all the way around. And
Awareness.
the one thing about it, because I know what time gonna catch us, and the award Alabama Music Award Show is ballot wise, it's for the state. But to be a part of the award show, you can be from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be from Alabama to be a part of it, because the hostesses, the performers that are coming in, a lot of those people are not from Alabama. And that's where we try to let it be known. And then if you're not on the ballot, if you're not performing, if you just want to come out, the doors are open where anybody can come to this award show. It's not a set certain people that have to be there. So I want to make sure that is known too with it. So on Saturday, to refresh what Nikki said earlier, we will be doing a Fun Day Back to School rally. That's July the 22nd. It starts at 11 to 2 o'clock at the Bessemer Park and Recreation Center on 150. Everything is free. It'll be nothing dealing with the kids. All of those do. We just oversee everything and make sure everything runs smooth. Then that evening we'll have the Gospel Explosion that starts at 4 o'clock. That will be at the Bessemer Civic Center. Along at 6 o'clock we'll have the fashion show. That's two events.
Two events in that one
Is
day.
going on at the same venue
Mhm.
on the same day. We still gonna put vendors for the actual show. So if you want to reach out and contact, the number is 205-503-6840. That's 205-503-68240. Just to put that out there so they'll know. If you want to purchase tickets, you can go to the alabamamusicawardsshow.com or Eventbrite to purchase tickets for that Saturday. And then the award show is July the 23rd. That's Sunday. Doors open at 2 p.m. That's red carpet. 2 to 5, nothing but networking, interviews, artists. If you're not performing, even if you don't make the ballot, still come out and network. You never know who you might meet. It's gonna be there for you. The podcast, internet radio, all of this is there where you can go and sit down and talk to them for one price, $25 ticket. Bam, you get all this information. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank all three of you for coming on my show. I
Thank
was
you.
really happy to have you. Like, it was such an honor to have you guys on to talk about the show and its evolution and how it started. So if you guys have social media, just tell everybody where they can find and follow you. And of course, y'all got the award show going on, so y'all are probably busy with that. But just tell everybody where they can find and follow you.
Well, you can follow me on Facebook. I go by Ruby Alvarez, and then I also have Instagram, and I go by Ruby Alvarez as well. I was trying to remember. I'm like, yeah. I go by the same as well.
On Facebook, you can find me, Nikki J, the artist, and Nikki is spelled Nikki. Nikki J, the artist, or just my name, Nikki Jackson. And on Instagram, it's I am underscore the Nikki J. That's THE. So I am underscore the Nikki J.
I'm sorry, y'all. But if you want to follow me on social media, Alabama Music Awards show.com on all platforms. You can find it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even on the web. It's all one thing.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. And of course, if you guys want to follow me, for those who are watching, thank you for watching. And also, you can follow me, your girl Stephanie Hardy, on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy. And also listen to the show. Follow the show on Instagram at Hardy Wrestling Podcast, and follow on Twitter at Hardy Wrestle Pod. And also continue to vote for the Hardy Wrestling Podcast for Bama Podcast of the Year at the Alabama Music Awards. I'm so honored to have been nominated this year and last year. So please continue to vote as much as you can. So until next time, this has been the Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girls Stephanie, Ruby, Nikki J, and Zeus of the Alabama Music Awards. And until next time,
Thank
bye,
you.
y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.